Alright, I guess let's start. Alright, yeah, let's go ahead and start. There we go. How's it going? How's it going? Oh, finally. I was wondering when the ads were going to start. This setup right up here was going to start moving. I heard something just disconnected. Okay. Alright, well I guess let's just go ahead and start getting things set up while we're waiting. Let's see here. Where are... Okay, where are you, main? Where's my main function? There it is. Okay. There we go. Alright, nice. So I think so far so good. Alright, yeah, so now we have to wait for the ads to pass through, which will be a minute, but that gives us a bit of time to figure out where we are. I'm still figuring out the enum field. I will figure it out eventually. I think... There we go. Okay, this is good. So we cleared out a bit of here. So I've been doing some scraping while we've been waiting. Look at that. Look at how many things we've scraped so far. That is so good. Check it out. Check it out. 4,344. That is a very good amount that we have scraped. There's still... This is about 50%, so come a while later, we'll scrape more. I did notice that my scraping speed might be a little bit quick because I did get a warning from Cloudflare. So one change that I'm going to have to do for our scraper is I'm going to have to actually increase the time it takes for, well, scraping. Because if you remember down here, I have it currently set to 30. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to change this to be a bit longer. So why don't we go ahead and change this. So we'll call this the scraping delay. And I think we'll go with something around 60, I'm guessing. 75. Okay, we'll go with 75 for now. Hey, Janoob. How's it going? What am I scripting? Well, I am scraping Romhacking data. There, we want to add that here. There we go. Oh yeah. I know it's a lot of late. I have a random integer sleep right here, which is about 20, a maximum of about 20 seconds. And then right up here, I have a delay that I just made a minute. Is it Lua? Nope, this is Python. I am using Python for scraping. I think... Don't quote me on it, but I think Python is the kind of the go-to when it comes to a lot of database scraping projects. I do know that there are a variety of them in C, but usually whenever I see people talking about databases and LLM models and the like, it's always involving Python. So yeah, I'm writing all this in Python. All right, so we've updated that a little bit. So yeah, now what we're going to do today is we're going to start working on the parser. We've extracted out enough information. I mean, we've extracted a ton of data. Now we need to start parsing it and putting it into each individual component, or so that we can actually start visualizing it. I see, I see. Yeah, I know that Lua is quite a popular scripting language. I never actually really used. I'm going to have to learn how to use it though. I have a. Let's see here. Can I run it right now? Um, Give me a sec. Uh, yeah, okay. I have NeoVim on here, as you can see right here. And for NeoVim, you can. Let's see here. Oh. There we go. Okay. I need to remember all of the different code all the different files in here. Maybe. Either way, I need to learn Lua so I can start making my own scripts for NeoVim. I'm not that familiar with it, so I'm kind of sticking with what I know right now. But this is a pretty good software here. You do not need to check it out. Nice and colorful too. And I also happen to yeah, nice and colorful. What I mean by scraping is pulling or extracting data out from the internet. Let's see here. We'll just go ahead and close that for now. We can continue messing with NeoVim later. But yeah, what I mean by scraping is extracting data from the internet. Like Pi. Let's see here. Let me load up. Here we go. And let me show you. All right, there it is. Okay. So here, web scrape. This is what I'm referring to, web scraping. The idea is that you use different tools to extract out data from the internet, then you store it in a database, and then from there you can then use it for processing. I think the majority of tools available right now all do this scraping. Yeah, there you go. Requests, get the data, content. Knowing this is a Geeks for Geeks is not a very good. It is a decent website. It's in a sense that it can kind of give a very general overview, but it's mostly designed for farming. It's mostly designed for farming the algorithm. So it's a search engine farmer, and as such, this stuff is very basic. Watch, they're going to tell you go use Beautiful Soup, right? Yeah, there you go. Use Beautiful Soup. Yeah, this is extremely basic. Yeah, okay. Anyway, you get the idea. What am I using it for? I'm having fun building myself a database. So there's a website called romhacking.net. Well, it's not just romhacking.net. Let's go ahead and load up Brave so I can show you. So here's a website called romhacking.net. It holds an awful lot of ROM hacks, but this isn't the only one as well. For instance, if we go to, okay, maybe not that one. If we go to gbatemp.net, you'll find that there's a lot of different hacks. I'm I'm going to have to do some data parsing here. But see here, another rum hack right here. Delta Emerald. I might have to check that out. But so, for instance, you have romhacking.net, you have GBA temp, you also have, I think it's called the Sonic hacking contest. Yeah, here it is. Okay, kind of this one. You can see it's this one as well. It has the vault, which contains an awful lot of games, ROM hacks. Hey, Knuckles. Okay, all right, come on. We know. Come on. There we go. Okay. So here, and then you can see if you go in here, you can see all of the different ones. So you get the idea. I think another one would be Super Mario hacks. Yeah, here it is. Super Mario World hacks, Central. Check it out, all these hacks. Oh, so many. So many fun ones. But yeah, these are all littered everywhere. And I felt it would be kind of fun to try and write code to consolidate all of this into at least an area in which we will be able to go, oh, we want this particular hack. Well, it exists, and you can find it on Super Mario World Hacking. So that's the idea. Well, I get my hands into a lot of things. I don't know many people, but for me, if I'm not messing with something, then I am bored. So doing research, programming, yeah, pretty much, I do too much. Not enough time to do all the things I want to do, and thus not a lot. All the projects tend to move very at a snail's pace. I need to probably hyper focus on single things. But I digress. Where is it? There's a very fun hack in here. If we want, we could start. I could start writing a scraper to start extracting the data here. We do need to extract these. They're all for. There's 51 pages. Oh my, that is a lot. That is a lot. Let's see here. Which game is this for? I think this is just for Super Mario World, right? Yeah, I think this is Super Mario World. Roblox. Yeah, it will be learning how to program can be quite a daunting task. I would recommend use ChatGPT as a tool. Think of it as a very elaborate dictionary, a very elaborate search engine. It would be great for you to say, "Hey, I want to write this. Provide me with how one would do this," and then you can use that as a reference. Oh, thanks for the follow, Raymer. How's it going? Yeah, I would recommend using it as a advanced search engine, because if you try to rely too heavily on using ChatGPT to write all your code, you'll quickly fall down a rabbit hole of it not working. I kind of fell down that hole at the beginning of this project. It's ludicrous how, I can show you later. I can show you later when push comes to shove. But yeah, it did not go well trying to use ChatGPT for what I was trying to do. It takes practice. It takes practice. Think about it this way. Think about it this way. Everything that we've done, we've had to learn, we've had to put in, well, okay, let me minimize this and start coding. But think about it. Everything we've had to learn, we've had to learn through repetition and lots of difficult, trial and error. There's a lot of things that most people take advantage for nowadays. largely because they probably forgot. But even the most basic things we had to learn, and there was a lot of difficulties learning them. Think about it. How many times has a little kid fallen on his butt to learn to walk? Or how many times has a little kid gotten a spoon in the nose because they didn't exactly know how to maneuver their hand? So it's just a learning process. And you won't learn unless you hammer away at it and continue practicing. Alright, so we want to work on our parser now. Let's go ahead and load this up. Let's see here, Romhacking DB parser. There it is, DB parser. All right. Now then, so for us, let's see here. We have, so what we want to do is we want to parse out our, here it is right here, this one. We're not extracting yet. Oh yeah, because we're separating out the two different parsers, we can actually get rid of some of these. For instance, these console functions. That's the general idea, yes. I'm going to write scrapers, and eventually I'll write a crawler which will start looking around all over the internet, because one of the fun... So I can show you, actually. Let me show you. So if you are curious, when you go to a thing like Google, go on Firefox. Okay, so if you go to Google and you type in something like ROM hacks, the question is how does the search engine know? Well, one way it knows is through metadata. Let's go to, I guess we'll go to Romhacking Plaza. I don't know what this website is, but I am going to show you. This is going to be done later. So if we hop on into the metadata, or I should say the HTML file, and you go up to the top, you'll find something called the head. The head contains all the metadata. This is what informs Google how it's going to, how it should be defined within like search, or how the internet should acknowledge it. So you'll end up finding you'll have a lot of different things. For instance, a description. Discover unique ROM hacks, fan translations, and mods. You'll have in the URLs like Romhacking Plaza. You'll have the title. You'll even have some basic like site information. Title cards. I think they might have, let's see here. Do they have any other fun things? They have a Google Manager account. So in other words, if I want, I could eventually trace down who is actually the manager of the website. But you get the idea. This metadata will be super useful because eventually, as I said, I'm going to write a module that will just start going through all of the different websites and start seeing, are you a ROM site? Are you a ROM site? Do you host hacks? Do you provide hacks? And then eventually I can make a nice list and start building, or make a way to identify all of the different places. Because there's a lot of them that you won't, very difficult to find. And test automation. Actually, it's used all over the place, Raymer. I know that there's a couple different, because Selenium is a browser emulator, or it's a browser that is being, I want to say a browser emulator, but that's not actually what it is. Selenium is a browser that is being controlled by a script, which allows you to bypass an awful lot of anti-bot detection. And because of that, a lot of different companies use Selenium, particularly headless mode. They don't usually have it up like I do. I kind of like to watch it work. but most of them will use it as a ways to, as I mentioned, to get around scraping. Because if you try and just use the requests algorithm or module. So if I import requests, all right, and then we do requests dot get. I could potentially, let's see here. We'll go with, okay, what website should we go with? How about we go with, I've been harassing GameFAQs lately. Maybe they might not like that. So we go there. And see, we got a 400 response. It was probably because I put in the wrong email. I probably put in the wrong address. You kind of get the idea. Some of these will actively prevent you from accessing it. I know that romhacking.net is protected by Cloudflare. So if I try to use the requests function, I will guarantee Cloudflare will try and kick me to the curb and tell me piss off. So yeah, you do. So yeah, using Selenium gets around that. Well, modules are often used for, well, yeah. So modules are they're pretty much containers of a lot of code. So if you write a bunch of functions, you'll put it in a module, and you can call the module to run things. Hey, Ansel, how's it going? It's been the weather has been quite ludicrous here. I am currently fighting against potential bad luck right now because not but 5 minutes ago I had a lightning bolt strike nearby. So if the stream dies, then sorry, but that's why. That is why I haven't been streaming these last few days. Oh, actually, you know what? Before I hop out, I want to do a quick check. We were just looking at it earlier. As I said, we're going to make eventually a scraper to extract metadata. Does this website have good metadata? They called it Super Mario World Hacks. That's the title. And it surprisingly doesn't have much else. Oh my. Yeah, it surprisingly doesn't. It just has that. So we're going to have to use some natural language processing at some point. Now you want to learn how to make a crawler. Well, actually, why don't we actually do that? Let's go ahead and start. Let's go ahead and start making ourselves a nice crawler. Let's see here. So what we want to do, I was going to work on the database side of things today, but hey, it's not. I do have to eventually start writing something to start going out there and finding all of the different places. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's see. Here's our source code. We want to do it in scrapers. All right, so not the main functions, tools. Selenium. Okay, so what we'll call this function. We'll call this the oh, I know. We'll call it the hacking the hack search. The hack search scraper. There we go. No, you can use scrapers all over the place. Again, you can use C++. In fact, I believe Selenium is written in C. Yeah, I believe Selenium is written in C, so you can actually write one for that. However, because of the fact that in a large chunk of companies that want scraping data, pretty much all of the ones that... Okay, if you type in... Let's see here, if I can import a Hugging... Yeah, here we go, Hugging Face. So Hugging Face happens to be a... Oh my, okay. So Hugging Face is the website that is used for models, particularly AI models. Let me actually go there so I can show you. There we go. Hugging Face. So yeah, here, the AI community building the future. Oh, okay, building a bunch of very complex calculators. But the main point I'm trying to get at is a lot of the people who are making models, they need to collect data and use it. And a lot of the people who collect data and use it, they tend to use Python. So you end up finding that an awful lot of the tools are just all readily available in Python. To interface with Hugging Face, you would simply use Python. I think I think there should be a... Here you go, right here, Python code. Right here. So if I want to interface with this data, with this AI model, I need to go use this set of code in order to import it in and then start using it. So all of the AI models use Python. A lot of the data is stored through Python. They'll be stored in things like SQL databases or MongoDB databases, but the majority of the interface is through Python. And then you have the scrapers, which I mentioned. We're using Selenium. Selenium is written in C. Yeah, here you go, right here. Selenium is written in C, but because of how useful it is, you'll find that there's actually a Python version right here. See, Selenium with Python. So yeah, if you're going to do anything data related, Python is probably the way to go. And if, from my understanding, a large chunk of companies out there use Python. So yeah. But either way, I digress. What we want to do is we want to work on our scraper. So first things first, I'm going to snag a little bit of code here that we've already written. I'm just going to copy all of this. There we go. Scraper, there we go. And then from here, what we can do is we'll interface with Google. That's what we're going to do. So crawlers search data and give it to you. Kind of. You have to be very specific about what kind of data you want. And because you can eventually run the risk of... there's a lot of... You have to be very cautious when it comes to things like scraping and such. All right, let's see here. Data... So I don't think we need to worry about the history. We do need Selenium. Web page service. Yes, we do need that. Or... Yes, we do. In fact, we're changing the database. So let's see here. Where is our database? So we're not worrying about history. We don't need the ROM extension. Here it is, database right here. Companies. Okay, let's add... Let's see, where are you? Enum, companies. Okay. Let's go ahead and add Google in here. We'll add goggles. There we go. Okay then. So from here, what we'll do is we'll simply put that here, like so. There we go. Let's see, what do you get out of the data? For example, you're trying to find multiple games with hacks. Oh, so it depends. So yeah, it depends. When it comes to... Yeah, let me load it back. Let me show you an example. So when it comes to things like ROM hacking, I'm trying to collect this data right here. So I'm scraping for this data. I'm scraping for the description and the ROM information. And if I am fortunate enough, which I don't know how fortunate I'll be, I will be able to scrape the picture data right here and the download links. So that's kind of the idea, is I'll scrape for all of this. And then from there, I can then populate my database with it. And eventually, when we make the front end, it will populate the front end so we can have a nice graphical view of it. But for other companies, particularly ones that I had worked with, what they were actually more interested in was the metadata. Let's see here. If I go to, not history, we're trying to go to page source. So yeah, there was a company I used to work for, and they were actually mostly interested in the header data right here. And the reason why was because they were trying to use it to track. Um, they were using it for tracking purposes, I guess is the best way I can explain it. And that's because a lot of the metadata that is held within a website is designed purposely for tracking. So, for instance, you would be able to here. This person's using Google API fonts. That's actually the other one was a better example. The other website we were looking at, they actually had a manager number. So from that, you can actually use that and go, oh, hey, this website is owned by this person, and this website is owned by that person. Can really kind of help you understand what's going on in the particular spot you're looking at. I wouldn't say black hat hacking. It's all freely open data. Oh, wait. Hey, what is this? This is in the body, but oh, I might need to get that. Sonic hacking contest, the vault. Welcome to the vault collection. But yeah, you get the idea. You get the idea. So it really depends on what you want. Actually, one of the companies I was working for more recently, they were interested in the stock market. So if you go to Yahoo Finance here, you'll find that there is, let's see here, where are the markets? Here it is, the markets. We'll go with, I don't know, futures, maybe? Yeah, sure, okay, futures. We'll go with futures. But yeah, the idea was is they wanted to collect this data here, as well as all this other information, so that they could make sound decisions in the stock market. Oh yeah, you can. It's very easy. It's surprisingly easy. I mean, I could actually explain quite a bit how one would do that. What you would do is you'd go into a website, you would find out some particular information. Like hop in here, we'll go into the header. Into the header, we can end up finding there is, let's see here. Where's a good example? Actually, because this changes frequently, it might be that it might be now out of date. Because if you... Alright, well, if I wanted to then... Let's see here. Oh, what was the name of that website? What was the name of the website? Oh... I forgot. There's a website out there where you can check, let's see here, IP address of websites. It's like myip.ms or something? No, I don't think it's that one. Not the reverse IP. It's been so long since I actually used it, so I kind of forgot. You get the idea. What you can do is you can do a reverse search of the IP address to find out where it's actually located. The majority of websites will often don't use things to hide from behind. So as such, you could easily go, oh, this IP address is being stationed in India. that's what that's where this is. And then from there, you can then pull out some key details from the metadata, which will tell you, like the Google IP manager. It'll tell you. Sometimes they'll even put in uh, other information about like registration information. And then from there, you can go to, I want to say it was domain tools. Is it this one? No. Oh, who it is. There it is. There it is. Who is domain tools right here. You can then go into who is domain tools. And then from here, you can then go, oh, I can figure out who owns this particular website. So why don't we type in a website? Let's type in, how about we type in google.com? No, they block it now. They're hiding, Google is hiding their information from us. However, we do have some information about who registered it. We do have contact information, so we could easily contact them if we wanted to. You get the idea. This is how a lot of people discover information about others online. If you will watch, actually, because we're talking about ROM hacks, let's see here. This isn't actually anything to do with ROM hacks. It's more has to do with piracy. But let's see here. Switch, piracy, FBI. Yeah, right here. The FBI seizes the Nintendo Switch piracy site, NSF2U. And you might be asking, how did they find the people who own it? The exact things I just showed you. Odds are the people who use NSFW2U, they probably registered somewhere in the States. And if the FBI asks an IP company, hey, who owns this website, they have to comply. So we just need to get the information from domain tools and find out some Google information so that we can then subpoena Google, and then voila, we kind of know who owns the website. So yeah, it's pretty easy to figure out to find these things out. I do a lot of things. I do a lot of things. Originally, I was a neuroscientist who was studying the brain, trying to build programs too for brain research. And then I eventually moved into the industry, which worked with many different companies. So, lots of stuff. Either way, let's get to our scraper. I don't really, Google, try and ban me, Google, I dare you. I dare you to, you want the ad stuff, don't you? Okay, so we should probably define a list of search terms. There we go. So let's see here. So we'll call this the search term list. And then from this, let's just start putting in different terms. So we'll put in ROM hacks, ROM translations. What else? ISO translations, ISO hacks, retro games, retro game hacks. I think that might be good for now. Let's see here. We have Selenium. We don't need history because we're not worrying about that. General weights. We can worry about that later. We have our save function. Okay then. So first things first, let's go ahead and define out a function. Let's go with scrape Google those pages. There we go. Scrape Google pages. We're not going to have this output anything. We're just going to have it saved directly to the database. And then from here, we can then simply go to Hmm. Oh, HK pen. I could. I might. We'll figure that out once I start getting into. Yeah, I'll figure that out once I start getting into writing the front end. My experience in front ends is rather limited. I only ever used tkinter. This is a Python built-in script module, so this is for building very primitive scripts. I used tkinter and I used PyQt6, which I do not have installed, do I? We're going to use Flask, so we don't need to worry about PyQt6. But yeah, I use those two for making GUIs. But we're going to go with a web development front end, Flask, and when we get there, we get there. All right, let's see here. So we're going to scrape Google. So we'll go to our main page. And then from here, actually, where's my, I think that's actually something I need to, okay, where is the there it is. Let's load this up. Oh yeah, we need to, I need to get the instance for it. So why don't we call, let's see here. We'll get an instance and we'll call this, oh, I know. We're going to call this tuna salad. Okay then. So here's tuna salad. Okay, then we'll go, let's see here. All right then, so we head to Google. Now I need to know what this is. Because again, I'm trying to make this out to pretend to be as human as possible. I could theoretically, I wonder if I could do... I don't know. That's actually a good question. I'm wondering if I could actually just request from Google. I think I'm going to stick with using Selenium for now, but we can explore requests later. For now, what we are interested in is this right here, the search bar. So it is text area. It's called a text area. Okay. All right, so text area, it's in a style, JS scroller. I think text area might be the best spot. All right then. Okay, let's go ahead and find that. All right. No, not web page service. Selenium driver. Oh, actually, we're already in that. Okay, so what we want here is we want to find or get the... Come on, where are you? Not delete all instances, not setting up the driver. Not scroll, get web page elements. Here we go. This one, get web page element by XMath. Now then, what was it again? Text something? Let's see here, where are you? So text area, so style text area. So div style text area. All right. So div style text area. There's a lot. Oh, there's a lot of them. Okay then. All right. Actually, I wonder if it's just the one. Let's try A. Yeah, all right. Yeah, it didn't. Okay, it didn't find it. All right. Maybe if I just look for text area. Let's look. Let's just look for that first. There it is. Okay, undetected element right there. And it seems to be the only one. All right. Nice. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy that. Let's see. We want to do define a function here. Fill text. And we'll need to input in our elements. So this will be the text area. Web elements. Nothing's going to come out of this because we're just filling it in. But the idea is that text area. Let's see. Oh. I just forgot. One sec. There's a way to... Let's see here. Send keys. Thank you. Okay. Send keys. Got it. Oh. All right, then. There it is. Send keys. So text area. This will be the text of interest. And then afterwards, we'll then sleep for, I guess, 2 seconds. I think a 2-second delay after filling the text. But then also we'll have to delete text. Text area will be a web element, text, which is a string. We're not doing anything, but the main thing is that it'll be the text area. And then, okay then, we're going to send keys, but it's going to be Control A. Because the idea is that what we're going to do is we're going to do Control A, then we're going to delete everything that's in there. And then last but not least, we'll then actually, I think that's just it. And then we'll sleep. All right, so let's see here. Oh, they have a clear command. There it is, keys.tab. Okay then. Now here's the question, should we call the clear command or should I call the clear command or should I call the way that I was going to do it? I think I'm going to continue doing it the way I want to do it. Well, that just means that we need to do keys. And then this will be let's see here. Oh, balls. What was this? Select all. Control A, I think. So, we should probably import keys in real quick. There we go. Keys.delete. There we go. And then that's it. Let's see. Let's do a quick check one more time and make sure. Here we go, right here. So Control V. So it would be keys control plus V. I wonder if that's the same for... All right. It might be the same. Control plus A. There we go. So now we'll select everything within the text box and then we'll delete it. We don't need to worry about the text. There we go. So now let's go ahead and set A to text area. Text area dot send keys. And we'll simply send over ROM hacking is awesome. Let's go up over here. There you go. ROM hacking is awesome. Okay, then. And then I guess the next thing we want to do is test it. Let's see here. So text area dot send keys. How much do you bet I need to import keys in first? 1 moment. He's going to complain if we don't set it. Okay then. Control. Oh, they have a left control. They have a left control. Interesting. Okay. I think control will be enough. Okay, did that work? It did work. And then that means if we do text area dot send keys dot delete and oh, okay, it didn't work. Try that again. There we go. Okay. I don't know what happened, but it worked. All right. So yeah, these two functions are working perfectly fine. So we don't have to worry about that. The main point is that now that we have the base set up, that means for our search engine right here, what I can do is we can go to our main URL, then we can find the element. So we'll do self.selenium driver. And then we'll get our web page element by XPath. This was text area. I should probably put it up here. We'll put it right here for now. This is going to be the text box XPath. There we go. We'll put that right there, like so. Now we'll simply put here text box. Let's see, yeah, text area, perfect, okay. So there's our text box. Oh, come on, work. Thank you. All right, then text box. And then from here, we'll simply do self.selenium driver .fill text box, and then we will go with the first search term. So in this case, we'll do for term s term in. There we go, search term list. We'll pick this one. And this will be S term. Oh yeah, and we want to hit enter afterwards. Self.selenium driver dots. I think because I'm thinking because of the fact that what we're doing is, let's see here, where are you? Right here, fill text. I could put in a function that says go to, or I could just simply send the keys and tell it to press enter. How about we put that here for now? We'll say, or go to after fill, or go to, yeah, we'll say, oh, I know, enter after fill. There we go. If enter after fill, then we'll simply text area dot send keys, and we'll do send the keys, enter. There we go. There we go. Okay. So now whenever we fill in the text, it will automatically go to where we want. So with that being said, we fill the text. That means it should automatically fill. And then from here, we're going to have to do some... Oh, so here's a choice. Do we start just saving the different pages, and then we will parse them out? Or should we go ahead and start... Because this will always change. So... Yeah, what do we do here? Do we just start saving the Google search history? And then from there, we then scrape out what we want, and then we'll go to the different websites based off of what we find. Or should we just immediately start scraping the websites that are available? At least try and get the information that we need, and then start building out a record that way. Part of me feels like it'd make more sense to just continue the way we're doing it, which would be save the search results, because they might change, or they might get lost, or yeah, they might get lost later. But that's a lot of extraneous data to save. It would be saved in this particular format where we just binarize the output. We binarize the HTML, and then from there we can then extract the data later. I think that's what we've been doing here. Yeah, you can see it right here. That's what we were doing right here. Oh, I think what I will do is we will... I think... Oh, this is such a tough call. How about this? I'm just going to go ahead and... just run some of this code. Let's go to the text area. Let's send some keys. Why don't we send just ROM hacks? It always helps to look at what we're messing with. Hey, Urton, how's it going? Fun icon. Okay. There we go. So that should have sent us forward. Yep, sent us forward. What we're doing is we're trying to build a scraper of Google so that we can start looking for all of the potential locations that we can find ROM hacks. Particularly the ISP patches, so that we can put them in our database. We know of Romhacking.net. It's one of the most famous ones. In fact, this was the website that kind of inspired me wanting to do this project. So yeah, but then let's see here. We do know of Reddit. We know of Wikipedia. Romhacking Plaza. I wonder if they actually hold ISP patches there. We will have to do some sorting, but we will have to definitely go through the different set it up so because we're not using continuous search. So we will have to go to page 2 to however many we want. Yeah, the reason why we're doing this is largely because there's an awful lot of ROM hack patches out there, but they're not stored in an easy to find location. You have to be in the thick of ROM hacking scene in order to know where these things exist. which is kind of difficult for a lot of people who don't like the who have difficulty keeping up with it. Yeah, here we go. Here's Super Mario World Central. This is one of the ones that we were just looking at. Here's Vim's layer. Co-op. Oh, what is this? Oh, I've never seen this website. Super Smash Bros. 64 Co-op DX. Ah, okay. So it's a forum dedicated to ROM hacks for multiplayer. This is kind of what I'm talking about. I didn't know this website existed. If I had known this existed, then I would have had so much fun going through here looking at it. Oh, this looks like a lot of fun. Yeah, but yeah, the idea is to find these types of websites and, well, kind of track them, see what's available. What's the metadata look like? Metadata, it says co-op DX mods. Oh, we should probably use mods as a keyword as well. Co-op mods. The title is called ROM hacks, and then the description is ROM hacks are usually total conversions and mostly a total. Yeah, okay. I'm pretty sure we can use the description here as a good way of identifying if it is a website dedicated to hacks. So yeah, we'll definitely use this. Okay. All right. Good to know. I'm going to go ahead and go. Let's see. Let's go ahead and go back on this website real quick. Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, wrong one. Wrong one. No, no, no. We want this one. I want to go ahead and copy that. Let's get this in our list of spots with hacks. I'm already making a list. This will all eventually be stored in the database. Right now, we're just sorting it out so that we can have it, actually, I should probably make a list of emulators as well, because that's definitely something that's going to be showing up. I actually know a website to definitely start to that we'd want to collect information from there for that, but for now. So yeah, next thing to do is we should probably right here. That is kind of the idea. The idea, well, it's going to be a little bit more targeted that way. The idea is that we're going to build a scraper to just try and find these different websites. And then from there, I can vet them and say, oh yeah, this will be a good source of repository for data. And then from that, we'll then write dedicated scrapers that will just keep track of the different websites. I've currently written one. If we go back, you'll see I've currently written one right here. It's called Romhacking Net Scraper. And the idea is it'll just check the latest updates and see if there's any new updates to the ROM hacks. And if there are, we'll populate our database as such. But then I also wrote one for GameFAQs, because one of the big things about these ROM hacks is that we don't have a lot of we have information about the changes sometimes, but we don't have information about what type of game it is or what type of genre it is. A nice example I can think of, if we have to, let's see here. If I have to think of an example, I know. Okay, it's not. All right, it's not showing up. Okay, then. There's a ROM hack of Blaster Master, which does a whole sprite conversion for Metroid. But what it tells you is that they say that they tried to make a brand new Metroid game by repurposing Blaster Master so that you can fly around with Samus's spaceship. And it's a pretty interesting hack, but they only mention that it's a brand new Metroid game inspired by Blaster Master. And you'll be like, okay, then I need a bit more information about that. Like, what other could you please provide more details? So I was going to show that, but nonetheless, you get the idea. Let's, it depends. It depends. If it's a if a website is hoping for access the way that I'm doing it, then they will provide an API. But a lot of websites tend to not, because it costs money to host an API. And certain websites, or I should not say websites, so certain corporations will abuse these APIs if you don't charge them. And as such, you tend to either find A, it costs a lot of money, which I don't have, or B, they just don't have an API. Actually, I think there was a... Okay, let's not get distracted with our... Let's not get distracted just surfing the internet. Let's get to coding. Okay. So we have this, we're going to that website. We need to find... Then what we want to do here is we're going to start... we'll go ahead and start scraping. Let's see here. We'll get the... Not the tab list. Pull current page source. There we go. We'll call this the page source. And this should be... I think this is XPath, if I recall. Didn't I set it to automatically convert to XPath? Yes, I did. Automatic XPath. Okay. So this is going to be a... Where is... This is going to be a HTML element. There it is, HTML element. And then from here, we can then XPath. And... all right. What is our XPath for our search? We typed in romhacks. Let's inspect. We want to find out this information here. Here we go. Oh. Don't tell me it's hidden in so many divs. That's gonna suck if they tried to drown it in divs. I see an H3, I say a JSON name. Oh, yes, that's very true. I might have to program that in. I could set it up to use a VPN and just use a bunch of proxies. I guess you could say when we get there, we'll get there. For now, we're just trying to keep it simple. We're just trying to keep it simple and friendly on the on their end. So there's a lot of wait times. And right now we're trying to just access Google's information. Here's the... They call it JS name. So a JS name, and then we'll get the reference. So there's the span. Oh, here we go, right here. This is what we want. Now the question is what is that one? Let's see here. Yeah, we might have to. I might have to look that up later. Using using proxies. So you have. I don't know what. Oh! I know what that is. I bet that's an ad. I think I found the ad. I'm using Brave, which blocks ads. Don't tell Google, otherwise they might ban me. But yeah. Because of that, I think that's the reason why it's not loading is because it's an ad. So with that being said, we want the div, we want this div class. I think, I'm busy just looking through to see exactly what we might want. This is super complicated. Maybe I should just try and extract the A. Let's try and do that first. So we'll go for a span A, and with the, not the JSON name, class. What is, Hmm. I'm looking for something that is common enough that would be within all of the different searches. I usually don't like these codes, but you never know. This might actually just be fine. Let's copy the code for now. Let's look for span class, whatever that is. All right then. So span, and this is going to be a span that contains a class. So at class, and it contains that. So how many of things do we find if we look for that? Oh. Yeah, I'm not in the scraper. So this is, there we go. Okay. There we go. And, oh, I think that worked. I think we just need to look for that. So we have a bunch of different elements. Let's go ahead and we'll call this the search list. This happens to be a list of, not strings, but HTML. I think they're still HTML elements. There we go. And then from there, we can then do is search list. Let's actually put an L in there. There we go, search list. So for item in search list, item.xpath. Now let's see here. Now that we're here, let's see if we can find our text. I think it was H3, correct? So if we look for A, we can find the HTML, and if we look for H3, we can find the name. They give us ping information here. Oh, they give us ping information. Interesting. All right. I don't think we need the ping information for now. Oh, hey. Down here is the full name of the file. Okay. So that's the name of the website. I think Let's extract A first. Let's extract A and get href. So this would be A href. Oh. All right then. So item. What do we get here? And that is the website that we need. All right then. Nice. So yeah, this is going to be our URL. Yeah, this is our URL. I should probably put down a I'm thinking. It probably should be something like that. And we'll call this we should create a dictionary for this. We'll call, this is going to be each element. We'll call this the I already used search list. We'll call this the extracted search list. This is going to be a list of dictionaries, which will hold a bunch of strings. There we go. And then from here, we can then create ourselves. We'll call this the search dictionary. There we go. Search dictionary. This will be, and then we'll simply do URL dot, there we go, like that. Okay. Okay, we should probably put up here, yeah, right here. We'll call this the search elements. Search elements const. In this case, we'll have URL. And we'll also have the name. And maybe that might actually be it. We kind of just need the name and the URL. Is there anything else we would want to extract from this? I do not see it. Okay, we'll just go with those two for now. All right, so we have the URL. Next one on the list should be the name. So there will have to be an else here, mainly if it can't find it. So we'll have to figure out what to do with that. But the next one will be if name is equal to item.xpath. Oh. And then from here we were, oh, well, let's see, what was our XPath again? I remember it had H3. Well, that's kind of the class right here. What is that one actually? That's that title right there. So that's the page name. Got it. We want the one above it, this one. So yeah, we'll go with the span one, which is this one. So div span. We'll go ahead and copy this one. All right, and then from here we'll get the text. Oh. And then from here we'll go search dict self.name, name, like that. There we go. Okay then. So if we do this search, do we find the text? The answer is yes, we do. And then afterwards, now that we have those two sets, what we can do is we'll just append this. We'll append search dict. There we go. Oh. All right. Now that we have all that, let's run through that. Oh, okay. What are you complaining about? Oh, I know why. It's because of the URLs. All right. Let's see here. All right, let's fix that real quick. There we go. Run that. Now we have ourselves an extracted URL list. Let's go investigate that real quick. Here it is. And there we go. There's all our list. So we have the name and we have the URL. Nice. And I bet from here, I wonder why it has 12. Ah, I see why. Okay then. All right, I think we might have doubled up somewhere. Or there is 12 search. But that's good. Now that we have that situated, what I can start doing is I can just start cycling through. And from there, we can then, we should probably put down the page, how many pages we want to go through. Let's see here. Search page limits. How about we go through 15 pages, or we'll go through 15 pages. Let's see here. We're going to have to press the next elements. Oh, yeah, I just hit I hit that again. Yes, Firefox, thank you. Go on. I'm using Chrome right now. There. Let's see here. We want to know the next button. The next button is right here. Wait a minute. Is this... did they put it in a table? Did they put it in a table? They did put it in a table. All right. They put it in a table. Okay, well, if that's the case, then we'll just have to... let's see here. I probably could press... I think I could probably just press the span. Though knowing my luck, I need to press this right here. So what we should do is we should get the TD element. So let's go ahead and do that. It's going to be a bit of a pain given that it's a table. Are there any special attributes about this that we could potentially take advantage of? Kinda, but not really. I do see that the class is different. Though that being said, I worry that they might change it every single time we do a Google search. And if they do that, that's going to suck. If that's the case, why don't we just search for let's just search for the next text. So we want a TD span and then look for next. In this particular case, self.find or get. Oh, where's that get element? Here it is, get element by XPath. There we go. Okay. So our XPath is going to be... oh, balls. What was it again? Click with pixel info. Well, yeah. Let's see here. It's a TD a span. Okay, so TD a span. I see. And then from here, we're going to, this will be the text. So this span is going to hold, this will be at the text, or I should probably say text like this, and it's going to equal next. Now this is, we want the TD element, so we're going to put all of this in parentheses, like that. And there we go. Okay. So that's our XPath right here. So this should theoretically be our next button, XPath. Oh, there we go. Let's go ahead and get that element. not text box, next button, next path, there we go. And this will be the next button. Happens to be a web element. There we go. And then last but not least, next button dot press. How did I do pressing buttons again? Was I calling my... I was click. Okay. Maybe I should use... Instead of just grabbing it, I should just tell it to click the element by XPath. I think that will be a better option than finding the element myself. That way I don't even have to call it here. Just click the button, next button. There we go. And then last but not least, what we'll do is for, we'll call it IDX. For IDX in range, it'll be 0 to, and this should be the search page limit. It's going to be a double for loop. And to make things a little nicer on me, that's going down and this is going up like that. And why are you complaining? Expected a string. Wait, what? Oh, whoops. That's supposed to be an it. There we go. That's supposed to be an it. Okay. There we go. All right, so here's the idea. We have our term list. We're going to look through the first 15 pages and collect data. And then we'll put it all in our list. And we'll do that for our list of search terms, which happen to be these. Given that this is... Let's see here. Let's go ahead and run this. Actually, we should probably set this real quick, seeing as how it's not available yet. So we'll put this down as 15. There we go. The next button, we should probably set that to. Or you know what? You know what? Let's see here. This should be quit session. Let's just set up our... Yeah, okay. Let's set it up. Let's set up our work environments so that we don't have to finagle with it. That way we'll know that if it's broken, then the entire thing won't work. It's as opposed to us just slapping things together like with duct tape. We don't need to worry about our... I think... web page serve. We are going to use web page service. But that's going to be eventual. So let's just go ahead and run this. And we can set up the Google service later. And we should change the name of this. This is Google Search Scraper. And there. Oh, yeah. It needs the Mongo connection. Oh, yeah. Okay, we do need to set that up real quick. All right, let's see here. Where's the main page here? Okay, congratulations. I'm going to copy and paste you. This will be this is the Google Search Selenium main. Yeah, sure. Google Search Selenium main. We're scraping. The database is going to be... So this should be the enum. So companies dot Google code. Let's import that. There we go. We've established our... There we go. Now if we run that again... Okay. We're going to have to... Yeah, the way I'm setting it up, we're going to have to... Oh. Okay, thank you, Google. Let's see here. I don't know if we need the history doc. I don't... But we'll go ahead and... I might need the history... I might need the history tracking for this later. But for now, we'll just block it out. But here we go. Let's go ahead and run this code. Now, how are you going? How do you do? Okay, put in romhacks. There we go. Nice. And then we get an error. Okay, why did we get an error? Let's see here. What's the error for? Text fill. So we filled in the terms. Search. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That is a something else we have to do. But why didn't we go through the range? How is our extracted list looking? Empty, so it didn't even make it to the next section. Okay, good to know. Oh, I see. Yes, yes, that is something I'm trying to avoid. And the way to do that is to input in a lot of weird contrivances. For instance, some of the stuff that I've been trying to program in, at least into the base here. So for instance, like right here, I'm sending in messages to the text area. The idea is to try and make it, instead of just doing URL modifications and then trying to go in, I'm trying to go through here to kind of make it look a bit human. But also, if we look up here, I have a go-to-element page, a go-to-element function. And what this does is it will scroll to the destination that I want to go. And here we can see, we can get our location, and then we run this function here, which is go scroll web page, which happens to be, okay, where's scroll web page? Here it is right here, scroll web page. And the idea is that it will take a little bit of steps here and there in a random interval. And the idea is that by doing it this way, it will simulate someone is scrolling with their mouse wheel. You can even see right here that I've the different. It's like sleeping is random. Sleeping is random. The amount of distance that we're going is going to be random. I'm trying to induce as much random into navigating through the websites to try and hide from the anti-scraping. It tends to work when you scrape for limited amounts of time, but if you do it for a very long process, it might detect you. Anyway, let's see here. Stale element. Oh yeah, it is a stale element. Okay then. Let's get back. I know. So when it says stale element, it means that the web page refreshed and it no longer knows where the element is. Yeah, let's get rid of main. Here we go, this one. So which element is the one that's... Let's see here. So we go here. I think I might see the problem. Okay, all right, I see the problem, Let's see here, so... This search right here needs to be put in the... Yeah, okay. The way I programmed it, it's a little off. Because we need to find the search list every single time. So what it needs to happen is actually this does need to be here, because we're going to go through the different items, pull out the information. That is correct. And then when we push the button afterwards, then what we need to do is we need to grab our data here. Have you tried Playwright? I have not tried it. I will have to look into that. There we go. So let's see here. Oh, why is this throwing an error? And why is it crashing? No, crashy. Oh, I don't know why it's not. Oh, I see. I see why now. Okay. I see. It's the for loop. Okay. There we go. All right, so let's see. Oh my, we have 4 for loops. Okay. So we have 3 for. This is a lot of for loops. I'm gonna have to shrink this down a bit. So here we go. The first for loop will be our term list. We will input. I don't think we need to go to the main URL. Yeah, the first thing we can do, go to the main URL. That doesn't need to be in the for loop. But then setting the text does. And then once we fill it and then hit enter, we will then start going through the limit, extracting out page sources, identifying the information and storing it. And then we click the next button after we're done with this for loop. This for loop is done. We then click next and then we repeat. Let's try and do it in the first layer up like this. And then hopefully that will. And then while we're at it, you mentioned Playwright. So once we see this hop over to the next page, then I'm going to take a quick peek. Oh my, I put a very long wait in there, didn't I? Okay, how long did I put? How long is our wait? Let's see here. Okay, well, while we're waiting, maybe it crashed. It will complain in a minute. While we're waiting, let's do a quick search and see what this is. Playwright. And crawl for AI. Both fixed it, if I am not wrong. They are inbuilt human movement simulate functions. I see. Interesting. I did not know that these existed. I always tend to write my own. Let's see here. This happens to be out. If you ever see a website like this, be warned. It's most likely a junk website. Yep, it's a junk website. A junk website designed by people who want to get a quick buck. We can at least look at their code. That looks like C code. Or let's see here. No. Actually, yeah, it looks like C code. All right, let's hop out and ignore you. Browser stack. Oh. No. All right. Well, it talks about Python here, at least. It's using async. Okay, and there's an API to it. I get it. All right, I see it. I think I'm going to stick with what I'm doing. They look like tools that are available at a price, and I have no money. So, oh, there we go. It crashed. So what was the error for? Yeah, here's the timeouts. Let's see here. Did we at least extract anything? We did. All right, so we did extract some. How much do you bet it was the next button? Because that means it made it all the way to here, but then it crashed. Yes, it can be. I will... First things first, get it working. Get it working, then optimize. So let's see here. Plus, we're going to the speeding up process is going to be through orchestrating it. There's a cool tool called Run Deck, and what it allows you to do is it allows you to write different modules, which is how you can see how I'm doing it right now. And what it will do is it will, when I say scrape romhacking.net at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, then it will do it at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. This way, I can pretty much have it extracting and processing and doing everything all the time without me having to physically be here doing it. It'll improve or streamline the pipeline. As for like scraping and such, it depends on because if I try to speed up the process of scraping sometimes, you could run into because you just mentioned it yourself, you get hit by a CAPTCHA. It might be because you're trying to async and thread it. So, yeah. I guess, as I said, first get it working, then try and optimize. This failed. Yeah, this is what failed, pushing the button. I wonder why. Do I have to scroll to the bottom, maybe? How much do you bet I have to scroll to the bottom first? And then push the button? So let's go here. Let's investigate. Come on, inspect you. This is a span. So TDA span, that is correct. It's looking for the next function. So that should be it. That should be it. But I wonder why it's having difficulty. Let's see. So TDA span, and where the text is equal to next. So, So I wonder why it's timing out. Click button by XPath. We find the elements. We then click the element. We wait 2 seconds. Oh, we go to element. So it should actually navigate to it. I wonder why it didn't. That means it didn't find it. Yeah, that means it didn't find it. Okay, when it crashes again, it should time out in 2 minutes. So yeah, when it times out, then what we will do is we will we'll start doing our own. We'll do some more XPath searching and see what's going on. That's a bit weird. It should go to the element. And it should be, yeah, right here. We should be going to the elements, and it should be relatively simple. Come on. All right, well, while we're waiting, why don't we work on something else? So from here, actually, I might know. All right, so from here, we're going to have another function, and this will be, we'll call it scrape web page metadata. And then the idea here will be we'll put in a URL, and we'll put in a URL. And then from here, we'll go to Selenium driver. Actually, you know what? I think at this point, maybe actually saving the web page information would be fine. So instead of we'll just put here as a download web page. I think we already had this set up, didn't we? It was in our other scraper. Here's the download the project page. We will copy this. We can repurpose this. So first things first, we go to the URL, like so. We then will create a document of the URL, and the type of this, it should be a web. Let's see here. What is our types again? Not a sitemap. Okay, we should probably add one. Where's our enums? Here they are. Web page types. Sitemap, web page, article, social media, news. Maybe cover page? Yeah, maybe cover page. Front page. All right, you have a good one, Urton. Good luck with your scraping. So yeah, we'll call this front page. This will be the home page. Home page of website. All right. So let's go ahead and put that here, like so. For the code, for the tag. I don't think this. We should probably put a tag in here. How about we put the companies here? We'll put companies. We'll put Google. We'll put the Google code here. Just for now, at least. Then we'll download the current web page. Then we'll save it, and then we'll do a sleep. All right, perfect. So from here, we can simply just go into the URL and grab it. All right, now that that's set, let's see about finding this XPath. Selenium driver, get by XPath. So td.a.span. I wonder. Okay, the delay is actually a bit, because we're now getting a delay right here just by doing a basic search. I wonder why. Let's restart everything. Oh, there we go. It actually found it. Then why did it not find it early? I just exited out of our session, so let's reset it. All right. There we go. Now that we're in Romhacks, let's go ahead and do a quick. Let's go ahead and do this real quick. So that should send us to here. There we go. Then next on the list, let's see here. We'll set IDX to 0 for now. We're technically not using it. We're just using this as a loop. Let's do that. All right. Now let's run this one. And then it proceeds to get all caught up. So it's definitely that, which we kind of already established. How about we mess with this real quick? Oh. Why did it put the search there like that? What you doing, you a piece of junk? Google, quit being a pain in the ass. Piss off. I don't want your AI assistance bullcrap. I think that might be one of our problems. So let's click that and try and get this to mess up. I can't believe they're trying to... This. BS. Google, why you be the way you are? All right. Okay, there we go. So it timed out. The timeout is a stale element. Okay. How is this a stale element exactly? Driver find elements. We're immediately calling the driver, so we are not. Nothing should be stale because we're going directly to the main page. All right. Then, let's see here. Let's just type in TD for now, or TD a span. I wonder why it's taking such sweet time. Very confusing. Let's go ahead and start closing out some stuff. Maybe it might be a processor issue. This computer isn't very strong. The one that I'm programming on, it isn't very strong. Okay, we already saved this, so let's go ahead and exit out of this one as well. Oh, come on. Quit. Yeah, something weird is going on. I might need to restart everything. Okay, yeah. Let's go ahead. Let's do that real quick. Let's do that real quick. Let's see here. Oh. Piss off. All right, then. So let's go ahead and restart this. Oh, hey, it looks like ads are going to start soon. Okay, so while that is having trouble reconnecting... Okay, then. Yeah, so while we're waiting for that to restart... Why don't we do some research? Okay, so yeah, why don't we do a bit of research real quick while we're waiting? The main interest that I have is, can I collect metadata out of this Google search? Because if I can get descriptions of everything, it looks like I might be able to get the oh, that might be what we should grab. Because if I can grab all the descriptions, that will save me to have to go in and actually save the information from the website. So we have Romhacking. Here's the next set of information. And it is in a painful... Why is it in a painful location? Why are there so many divs? Okay then, so I'm gonna have to write a text parser. The idea would be that we give it a web element, and then it'll go through and just put all the text together into one document. Because if I try to extract this out right here, it would only give me the first one, and then it would fail at everything else. It would leave it all out. But nonetheless, it would be quite useful. What about the next one? I think we should probably go for the description as well. I think that would actually help us a lot. Because one of my biggest concerns actually is that I start trying to scrape the web for these files, but there's a lot of malicious websites out there. So what they'll end up doing is they will try and hijack my scraping and feed me viruses. So if there's a way to avoid having to physically load the cookies on their end or anything involving their website, the better. So I think that might be what we'll do. We can collect the URL, the name, and then any blurbs that can be provided. If there are no blurbs, then I can probably put it in a list and say, okay, we need to see if we can collect data on this before we actually enter the website. We need to make sure it's safe. And then once we define it as safe, then we can go in and extract everything. Oh, okay. I think we've restarted now. Let me go ahead and start it. Oh. The application files have closed unexpectedly. Don't send. Ubuntu, stop being a pain in the hiney. Okay, Ubuntu was causing... I think the problem, though, that's slowing down was because Ubuntu wants to update. You could kind of see it earlier. It had a window saying, please update me. And it's just eating all of my resources. Like, come on, let me do what I need to do first. Let's see, it should be service. There it is. System CTL start Mongo. There we go. Okay. Okay, we started our database. There we go. Nice. All right. Next, we need to go into PyCharm. Here it is. And with that loaded, let's go ahead and get back to what we were doing. Hopefully this will help with some of the issues we're having. All right, let's set up our environment. Set up our environment. We will then run our main function here so we can set up the database connection. We'll then set this up. There we go. Nice and loaded. Let's see here. And then from here, let's see, from here we can now go and let's go ahead and start trying to run this. Here we go, right here. Go to our main URL. Let's get our first search term. It's still acting a bit slow. So there's our first search term. Let's go there. We'll set the IDX to 0. We'll go in, extract everything, like so. There we go. And now we don't have anything. All right, Google, why did you not go to our search terms? There we go. Okay. Maybe I should have waited a bit till it's finished loading. That tells me I need to put I should probably make the delay here longer. Instead of 6 seconds, maybe 15. Oh. All right, I need to set delay. Okay. Okay. We'll set the delay to 15. Then we'll go to search. From here, we will then extract all of our information. Oh. Extract all the information like so. Now let's see here. Now let's do this. Let's get the page source. Self dot Selenium driver. Hey, Colton, how's it going? Well, let's see here. Get, it should be, where are you? Pull current page source. There we go. So now let's check the page source. Building a database. That's what we're doing right now. I'm currently building a Romhacking database for storing all of the ROMs. Currently, the exact thing we're working on right now is trying to build a scraper so we can kind of start pulling out all of the URL information from Google. Because I don't know where all of the ROM hacks are located. So I figured if I go ahead and scrape 100 pages of Google, I might be able to find something. And then from there, we can start keeping track. All right. It is a bit complex, yes. So td a span. Oh, x doesn't have an x path. Invalid expression. Huh. Wait, it should have x path. Literally, it should have. Yeah, right there, XPath. Did I type it wrong? Oh, I see. I need to put a another one there. Invalid expression. Well, what's invalid about it? Thank you. Okay then. Okay, so we can find. Hey, Hacky, how's it going? We are having fun building a ROM hacking database. Right now, we're trying to scrape Google. We're Google search. The idea is to, because I don't know where all of the ROM hacks are. So to give a bit of context, I am making a database for tracking all of the known ROM hacks out there, particularly those for old consoles. I know of a couple major websites like romhacking.net. This is probably the most popular one that's available, but there are many other ones that most people are not aware of. For instance, there's one. If I type in Goemon translation, oh, piss off, Google. Okay, I don't see it. I always seem to lose it. There's a website that has Goemon 3 translation. Here it is, translated.games. Here it is, this one. And if you look here, you can see it has a variety of different Super Nintendo translations, a variety of Nintendo translations. And here's the Goemon 3 translation right here. But you wouldn't know that if you weren't in the know about ROM hacks. So this is the point of building the database. And it's also the point of, right now, trying to build a scraper so that we can kind of just start combing through all of the websites for finding where these things are located. All right, so, and it's something wrong with our click web element button. Don't know why. Oh, okay. I think I might know why. I was messing with our element, but it shouldn't matter actually. Yeah, it should not matter. So I wonder why it's having trouble hitting the next button. That is very peculiar. It's definitely not a resource problem. if I crash, let's go ahead and crash it. All right then. I wonder if instead we just get the, oh, we already did get web page element. Maybe we should just try and do it ourselves instead of clicking it for now. So let's get the web page element by XPath. We'll call this the button. And then from here, we'll just do button.click. And there you go. It clicked it. I know what the problem is. It's my scrolling code. That's the exact problem. Okay then, because now if I do it again, if I run this code right here, like that, it's going to, is it going to complain? Do you complain? Oh no, it didn't complain. All right, never mind then. Okay then. I'm happy about that. Usually websites complain like a... It's so aggravating because some websites, you have to have the web element in focus, because if you don't have it in focus, it will literally crap itself. X.com is the one website I can think of immediately where if you do not have the tweet in view, when you want to click on it, it will just up and die on you. If you ever want to see a website just have a hissy fit like a 5-year-old, try and scrape X.com. It is ludicrous how silly it can be. The fact that that worked right here tells me that we should go ahead and just test this out. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's see here. How is this going to fare? Oh, and there we go. There's an error. Let's see here. Stale elements. So this is a... That means one of our elements is not being updated when we go to click. Let's see here. We're updating the web page here. We're then pushing the button here, but we're going from the driver where we're getting the web element. So we're updating it here. All the elements should be being updated. I wonder, Let's see here. Why do I have a feeling I have a feeling that none of it's working. Let's reload this. Google search object. Oh, it has no. Oh, we need to go to Selenium driver. All right then. Let's see. All right, we're here. So we're here. Let's first do this. That should send us to our first script. No, it did not send it. I wonder why things are not working right. Yeah, why are you not working, you? Okay. And there we go. All right, first is set. Next on the list is trying to go through the pages. All right, so let's see how far it gets before it dies on us. Oh, actually it's working pretty well. Oh my, we are going to get hit. Okay, let's put some delays in there. Okay. Let's see here. After we click the button, we should sleep for, I guess, 10 seconds. There's a none type. Oh, yeah. It claims that there's no more button. There's only 15 search results for RomHack? Really? That seems a bit uneven. That seems very uneven. And most of these are YouTube videos. Actually, a lot of these are YouTube videos. They have 18 here. Google search isn't as good as it used to be, is it? I see a whole lot of YouTube, but that's not what we... Oh, talk about being a horrible search engine. I think we're going to have to pick a different one. Let's see here. Here's a question. Here, let's look at our search list. Let's see here. Where is it? It should be... Where's our... Here it is. Extracted search list right here. And... Wait, why did I... Oh, I'm dumb. I'm dumb. This needs to be out of the entire thing. It needs to be up here. Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to run this again. Why don't we go ahead and... Let's see here. Why don't we just go ahead and search it ourselves real quick. We can go back. Let's go back to 5. Poke Harbor, Hacking Guide, Whack-A-Hack. Yeah, I'm not seeing... That one website that I just commented on, I do not see it anywhere in the list. And then we start getting to YouTube. I think I'm going to put in a minus YouTube right here. We should do a minus YouTube, minus... Well, maybe we should keep Reddit. But definitely get rid of YouTube. Because there are a couple ROM hacks that are on YouTube. There's a very fun YouTuber. Let's see here. Let me show you. He is Kazoo, I think. His image is a Yoshi. That is not what I'm looking for. Why are you showing me that? Oh boy. Not Flash. Oh, come on. You suck, Google. Oh, here he is. Kaze. Finally. Okay.
Optimized and bug fixed.
Okay. Kaze. He uses a Yoshi as his icon. He is a ROM hacker who is having fun modifying Super Mario 64. I would argue that he's actually probably one of the lead developers when it comes, or lead explorer, whatever word you want to use. He is actively going in and trying to understand exactly how the Nintendo 64 works, which is fantastic for when it comes to emulation, because documentation is very important for on the emulation side of things. And he is definitely helping out a ton there. But the main reason why I want to comment on that is because he actually makes his own ROM hacks. And if you go in, you'll find he will talk about them from time to time. Let's see here. Where is his ROM hack? Okay. It's somewhere in here. Here we go, releases. Shut up, I don't care what you're selling. I don't buy anything. So shut up. But yeah, here you go. Like here, first person hack for Mario. Pink, gold, peach hack for Mario. And then you can see the last Impact release trailer. So he releases a lot of these, and he doesn't really upload them anywhere specific. And because of that, you have to get them from here. If you want to get his ROM hacks, you have to go to his YouTube page. So YouTube will be a source of ROM hack information, but we'll have to write a scraper for it, and we're going to have to write in a lot of filtering. One of the biggest problems, I think you might have even saw it, is how far did I have to go to find this? Oh, piss off you. I had to go quite a distance. For instance, this is a video talking about the different ROM hacks. So this is more of a conglomerate. It's not the actual hack, but well, it says it in the name, the history of the ROM hacks. So this is a composite of different ROM hacks. This is also a composite of different ROM hacks. A composite, like the top 5. None of these are actually the ROM hacks, which I want in my database. So I need to filter all of this out. And this is going to take some natural language processing going on. I think, yeah, we're going to have to do some natural language processing, because there's an awful lot of let's talk about ROMs as opposed to I made this ROM. Here's the release of this ROM. But you get the idea. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a ban YouTube for now, because otherwise we're just going to get a whole lot of nothing. All right, so let's go ahead and copy that and put it in. We'll put it up here. So that's the text path, the area. We're going to do the delay. I just noticed that I had something happen in my system. Don't know. But we'll just continue working. It's 5:30 though. I might have to. Yeah, it's 5:30. I might have to hop off a bit early today. Usually I like to program to 7, but it's Friday. I have some stuff I need to get done. So let's finish this real quick, and then I'm going to hop off. So those are the search elements. This is the text paths. There's the delay. There's the web page and URL. Here we go. We'll put it here. We'll call it the search limiter, or search limit term. And then this is just simply going to be, this is going to be that. It's going to be that. This is going to be a string. And from here, what we can do is we can start putting in a bunch of other stuff. So we don't want YouTube. We don't want download though, because we do eventually want to download the the ISP patches or the XDelta patches. I will want to download them eventually. For the database, we just need to know where to go to. For me personally, I would going to program it so that I can at least store them. I'm very much under the impression that people like to say that once it's on the internet, it's there forever. But from my personal experience, things do go missing on the internet. So it's better to have a copy of it. I have a personal copy that I can reference later. Plus, we'll be doing a lot of other things outside of that for the database. So we will want to download later, but... Oh, I know. Free. There's a handful of terms that a lot of websites like to use to try and ensnare people to enter, and then they can pretty much hit you with a virus. One of those words, surprisingly, is free. In fact, if I type in, let's type in free ROMs, We don't want that. We don't want free games. And we don't want free, I guess, stuff. We'll put stuff. We don't want any of those. Filter out any websites that even have a mention of this. Because that's not the purpose of the database. This is for tracking patches. It's not being a pirate. All right, let's go ahead and try and... So this worked. This worked out well. We need to set up a search. Let's see here. If I remember, we went all the way to the end here, didn't we? Let's go to the end real quick. You know what? Getting rid of YouTube surprisingly made the search result better. All right, so once we get to here, the next button disappears. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. So that means if we can get the button, then we click and wait. Otherwise, we move on. And then there'll be a 10-second delay for hopping between the different search, the different pages for searching. Now, and then let's see here. We're putting in text here. This. So we're putting in that plus, actually, yeah, we'll put in that plus a space and then the search limit term. There we go, like that. That should solve that problem. Oh yeah. And I just remembered, we want to, once we're done with the search term, as in we get back up to here, we'll want to make sure that it's clear. So we'll go self.selenium driver clear, or delete text right there. Text box. There we go. So we'll delete everything in the text box and then we'll go and perform a second search. Doing it this way, we should be able to extract everything. Now then, why don't we give this baby a run? There we go. Okay, thank you, Google, for being a pain in the butt. There we go. And then last but not least, we will run all of this. Like so. Now let's see how it fares. So here we are in the search. We have to wait 15 seconds. Boy, maybe I should, there we go. Okay. Input the text. Nice. And then we're now going through. There we go. So it is working. Actually, I just remembered something. I think I need to update this because the idea is that we're going to go for 15 pages. What happens if we get to here? What happens if we get to here where there's no button? And yeah, what happens if we get to here and there's no button? Then we'll just keep pulling from the same page over and over again. So I think we'll have to break at this point. That would be breaking out of this loop here. Because there's no point to continually extract the say. We'll be just extracting duplicates at that point. Could you imagine? There's only 2 searches, but we're looking through 30. We'll extract page 2 28 times. So yeah, we need to break out of that if there's no next button. All right, so let's see here. Page 4. All right, so it's working pretty well. Okay. Yeah, this will take a little bit of time, but I think that will be fine. Now, I think the next thing is we're scraping out the pages. We should probably save it to a database. So if I remember, from here, I'm just going to, I already wrote this code like 5 times, or 2 times. I already wrote this code 2 times. It's right here when we're doing the save the sitemap. Actually, it's the parser data too. All right. I'm gonna do. I don't know. This might be a bit hacky. But what we're going to do afterwards is we're going to have this data frame right here, this search list. I should probably convert it to a JSON file. So let's see here, json.dump, and we'll go with search list, and we'll call this the dump. And this should be a string. Alright, what are you complaining about? Expected a string, got a none instead. Oh yeah. We don't want that one. We want this one. The extracted search list. There we go. And then let's see here. It should. Okay, it's not dump. Go on. Go lay down. Okay, it's not dump. Let's make sure we've loaded in JSON, correct? And the answer is yes, we did. Okay. We had loaded in JSON. Let's see here. It's not load or loads or dumps. Encoder, no. I always thought it was dump. Okay, let's do a quick search in the what I'm doing is I'm going to convert our string element, or we're going to convert our Python element into a string, which then I can then encode, and then I'm going to just save that as a sitemap. That way I can remove a lot of annoyances. Granted, this is a bit hacky, as I said. The more appropriate thing would be to just save all of the Google searches, but I don't really need those because ultimately we're going to be going into this is going to be just a confirmation thing. So let's see, where are you? Right here. Python, JSON, let's see here. Yeah, JSON dumps foo, and then we'll call. Oh, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. Then that's loading it. Oh, maybe I should use an IO string. All right, geeks. What do you say? Yeah, I kind of thought so. The whole point behind dump is to save it to a file, but we want to actually save it to a variable. Can I put down, like, G? Oh, can I put down G? Variable G. And the answer is no. Okay. Yeah, I kind of expected as much. The answer is no. All right, all right, all right. Let's see here. So Python dump JSON to string. Converting a, let's see here. It should be data load string. Actually, no, I do not want to. Yeah, I do not want to do that. So data, maybe it's dumps. I'm missing the, I bet it might be that. I'm missing the S. Oh, it better not be that simple. It better not be that simple. I feel very silly if it was because I missed the S. Let's create a list. We'll call it A. We'll call you Pi, or actually let's create two dictionaries in here. A is A, and then B. There we go. Now JSON.dumps A. And we'll put this in B. Now if we go to B, and there we go. All right. Yeah, all right. So that's what we want. So what we're going to do is we're going to dump our list here. We will then dump.encode. And then from here, what we can then do is proceed to copy and paste our data for saving a web page document. Here it is, this one. We'll create a web page document. So yeah, so this is what we'll do. So we'll create a document. Dumps is now going to go into data. So dump.encode is going to go into there. Our is no longer URL, so this will be our search term. So where is our, so this will be S term. And then our enum is going to not be front page, but all right, so this should be, what enums do we have available? Sitemap, articles, social media, search. All right then. We'll call this search. And then this will be the search data. There we go. All right. So from here we can then dump the, so this will be at the very end. So we need to get out of all the, well actually it should be at this right here. So we need to go down. We need to go down one. Okay. Like so. There we go. So we'll create a document. We'll then store it. We don't need to worry about waiting. But then at the very end, when all... No, it's still going. It's still the same page. It might be because of the amount of delays we put in. We're on 7. Okay. We're on page 7. I'm going to change this to 5. This is a bit too long, especially for just scraping search. And Google's not going to ban me. They want to sell me money. Or, I mean, they want to sell me products. They want my money. They want me to see the ads. So they'll just give me a CAPTCHA and then forget about me later. So let's just make sure that the button press happens. And then we will wait 5 seconds and then scrape. I think that's good. So let's see here. We'll go through that. Then once we're done, we will then save. There we go. That is perfect. That is good. That is perfect. And then from here, all right then, and then from here, we'll have to parse out the data and put it in its own. We'll have to write it, make a Google parser for the Selenium driver, and then we can save it out into the data sources, and then move from there. By doing it this way, I can theoretically save as many different search terms as possible. Granted, that does mean that this term list we're going to have to update the code a bit. So how about we separate it out a bit? So scrape Google Pages by default list. There we go. And then from here, we can copy this right here. I think we'll copy that, like that. This is the text path. All right, let's go ahead and get rid of that. We'll drop this down a bit. S term. That's our search term. So in this case, we should download Google Pages. S term. We'll actually call it search term here. Yeah, we'll call it search term here. There we go. There we go. And then this is the extended page, so that's right there. That means this code right here should return a file. So this should return a dictionary or a list. A list of dictionaries, which happen to contain strings in both sections. And then from here, what we can do is we'll go through this list with the page. Given that we're going to be doing this, we should put that there. We do the buttons. Once we're done, we're going to then return our extracted that. All right then, so far so good. There we go. That way we can go through the terms, we can extract them. This should be the extracted terms list. So what we're going to do is we're going to output that there. This is going to be a list of dictionary. Oh, actually, we already defined it. We already defined it up ahead, so we don't have to redefine it. There we go. That looks good. Oh, I accidentally hit the button. Let's get the timer out of the way. There we go. So that should work there. All right. Well, fine then. We'll define you here. We'll define... Actually, you know what? Yeah, we'll define you here. We'll define you here. There we go. All right, there. We defined you there. Run through, save. Now, what happens if we do it this way? So if anything, what we should do is we should write code here. Yeah, right now I'm busy just filling things out. I'm going to copy this code right here. Let's see here. This will be the search term. And then from here, we should rename this. This will be the, we'll call this the Google pay, or this will be the Google loop. Yeah, this will be the Google loop. So we'll simply run the Google loop here. This will be a none. There we go. In this case, we'll set up our search term. We'll then say we lost connection. Why did we lose connection? Oh, I know why. I'm trying to find out. Why did we lose connection for those few seconds? I think I know what. Google, they're on to me. Google's on to me. Let's see. Did they? No, they might be on to me. I have to go into hiding. Oh, they might. They're going to hunt me down now. Google's messing with my internet. Okay, okay. Part of me feels like I should run this every single time we run this. Oh, I know. Autosave. This will be a Boolean. And we'll set this to true. If autosave, then we'll do that. And then from here, what I can do is autosave is set to false. And then self equals save. So that way I can just save everything at the end. That way I don't have to call to the database too frequently. All right, I think this is good. We've now separated out our code so that I can scrape based off of our defaults, or I can put it in myself on what I want to save. I think we'll be calling this one mostly. Especially, I don't know how often we'll be doing this though. I think what we need to do is write up a function. This will have to go into NLP, into here. But what I think we'll have to do is I'll have to write a function which will scour all of the potential language and will pretty much, what we're going to do is we'll have to build an AI model where it will spit out a bunch of random garbage that will try and tell us these are the search terms that we want to use. If I go to, let's go to Mr. Meeseeks. Let's see here, where are you? Here. Let's go to Mr. Meeseeks. So yeah, if I go to Mr. Meeseeks, and from here I can then ask it to, output a search term for Super Nintendo ROM hack patches. And watch it proceed to give me a bunch of crap. Nope. Just the search term. No descriptions. Act like a robot like you are. Thank you. Okay. No download. No download. Okay then. I hate these things sometimes. Well, we definitely know based off of this. The fact that it immediately put download, it definitely tells me that what a lot of people have been searching or how they've been using Google search. And this is such a Oh, it's so painful. My brain. Ah, it's so painful. If it's going to give me this crap, why do I have to even use it? I could just simply write a random word generator. Here's 15 words, randomly pick 3, smush them together, and then send it into Google search. Let me see here. Write something unexpected. And I killed it. It died. Okay. It died. Okay, Mr. Meeseek's off the shelf. All right, never mind. I'll have to figure it out. Oh, hey, is it done? Did it just finish? I don't know. It says it. I wonder if it finished. Let's check. Let's see here. We should be looking for extracted ROM. Oh, 700. I think it finished. Let's see here. Let's inspect this. I saw Discord. I see Discord. I see it is. It just copied. It did. It just copied the same thing over and over again. I see. Why is Stack Exchange on here? Are ROM hacks considered piracy? Oh. Okay, the short answer is no. The ISP patches that you apply to ROMs are not piracy. They are just modified code. They are custom code that is supposed to be applied to a ROM. So the ROM itself is in a very gray area. If you extracted the ROMs yourself, like I did, then it is legal because you're creating copies. And the US, granted, this is just the US. I don't know how it is in other countries like Japan. I think Japan makes it illegal. But in the US, creating a digital copy of your own stuff that you own is legal. So ripping your own games is legal, and applying a ROM hack patch to your own content that the own file that you own and ripped yourself is legal. Now, if you download a ROM from the internet that you don't, or that's, you didn't extract it yourself, but you went out there and found a piracy website and then you downloaded it, then yeah, that is illegal. The FBI took down that Switch website because of the fact that that's illegal. Now, yeah, downloading the ROMs is illegal. Ripping them yourself is not illegal. And applying patches is not illegal because you're not... Yeah, the data is proprietary. It's not proprietary code. It's not written by the company who owns the game. It's something someone else did. It's a legally gray mess. Oh, Project Pokemon. Oh, I'm very curious about this, but we at least found one. Look at this. Project Pokemon. It has a form with Switch ROM hacks. The Retro Dude has tags for ROM hacks. I think, for the most part, it kind of worked. We're going to have to put in a... Let's see here. I think what we're going to do... Let's do this one last bit, and then I'm going to hop off. It's very simple. So we have this loop. We're going through... we're doing our search and sweat. So what I need to do is, once we do our extraction, we then click the button, and then we hit break. Or, we then hit the button or not, and then we'll break out of the loop if we can't. So I should do a here. So in this for loop, we should have something called current URL. This is going to be a string. We're going to get it from the driver. So current URL. And then from here, what we'll do is we'll go with the, or that's our, we'll call this set URL. And then from here, we'll do current URL. And it's going to be the exact same code here. There we go. Now, if current URL is equal to set URL, then we're going to break out of the loop, because that means that we're pretty much stuck and we can't do anything. And I'm going to put a to-do here. Which will be attempt to move forward twice before quitting. There we go. And then from here, otherwise, the set URL is going to be, the set URL is going to be equal to the current one. There we go. So the idea here is we're kind of making a temporary history. And let's do that. There we go. So yeah, it's a temporary history. We're going to find out what our current URL is. We're then going to go a page forward, and then we'll do a quick check. If the pages are the same, that means we already extracted it. So that either means in the future it will be try and move forward again, and yeah, try and go forward again. But for now, it's if we're stuck, we're just going to break it and we're just going to go do another thing. And then that way we can cycle. That way we won't get stuck. Yeah. So I think that's good. So this is good. I think this is good for now. I shall call it a day. It's been fun. We've managed to do quite a lot. We have set up a scraper. We're now in the process of identifying websites that hold ROM hacks. We will eventually have to get to parsing the data, though. I mean, if you look at our database here, I have 4,000 ROM hacks right here. Okay, okay, not exactly 4,000, but it's close to 4,000. Some of these are sitemap data, but most of them are actual hacks. And we need to start parsing these out into a database so that we can then start building the front end. But it's been fun. It's been fun. Until then, everyone have a good one. Have a good morning. Have a good night. Wherever you may be, have a good one. And I'll see everyone Monday. Yeah, we'll be programming more on Monday. Until then, see you guys later. I'm surprised nobody barked. No barking. My dogs, they love to bark. They just love to bark. Anyway, laters.